Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank all of you for coming today to participate in this. I haven't been involved in this project 20 years, but I do remember the first meeting I came to over at the City Hall. Must have been 10 years ago, Herb? Long time ago. And looked at the old black and white drawings of what this area used to look like. And it was exciting, and it's been fun to work on, but we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the support of the community. I mean, the city people, the council, and all the city staff have worked very hard, and the people that have lobbied on behalf of this and committed money to bring us to this point. If it hadn't been for the support in the community, because you just don't accomplish big endeavors like this unless members of the community are behind it. So give yourself a round of applause for that. Now, I should say I was on the phone with Representative Rukavina on the way up here today, and he wanted me to remind you that Rukavina Marina rhymes. So I promised him that I would convey that to you. So nobody can say I didn't do that. Somebody please tell him I did. But, you know, I heard Congressman Oberstar say he's against term limits. Let me just suggest one caveat. In Minnesota, wouldn't a 2-term limit for governor be helpful? And you notice all the nice things he gets to talk about, all the money he gets to spend being chairman, okay? He gets the good mail, okay? The tax chairman, he gets different kind of mail than the guys that spend all the money that we have to raise. So lucky for the finance chairman, but Senator Johnson knows full well what I'm talking about relative to that. But this is a really exciting day. And how many of you have ever been to San Antonio, Texas? A lot of you have. San Antonio is known for 2 things, right? The Alamo. Okay, we're probably never going to have the Alamo here. We got the Sedan mine in the neighborhood, but probably never going to have an Alamo, I hope. And they've got the Riverwalk. And anybody you ever talk to, if you tell them you're going to San Antonio, they will tell you to see the Alamo and to see the Riverwalk. And if this is done how I kind of envision it, and that's not quite big enough, Mr. Mayor, a little bigger. Bigger's better. Bigger is better. Must not be to scale, because I envisioned it a little bigger. But this has the potential to be northeastern Minnesota's Riverwalk. That people around the country, when somebody says, I'm going to vacation in northern Minnesota, they will say, you've got to go to Tower and walk on the river. And it really does have that kind of potential. And I'm very, very excited about it and very happy to have been somehow play a very small part in helping to develop it, and look forward to working on it with all of you and with you members of the community as we move forward. It's an exciting day, and you all should be really proud of the work that you've done. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Boff. I think we could consider Rukavina Marina if Tommy antes up a little more money. That would be a good thing. So I'd like you to introduce you to Representative Dill to say a few words. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Mayor. And I always love to come to an event where Congressman Oberstar is, because he lays it on, and he lays it on good, and it's always good, and he brings home the bucks, and that's what we need. And he brings home what we really need, whether it's in our community and economic development, whether it's in our community for money for projects like this. And just think about the money for Highway 169 going to Ely, and all the turmoil that we've gone through, all the money that he's delivered, and we haven't been able to match, sadly enough. But we're going to be working on that again in the future, and thank you very much for that. I mean, it's nothing more important than this road that goes through our community. In fact, Tower is very unique, I think, with 3 state highways running through it. I think it's a real asset to the community. We're right at the very pinnacle of those 3 state highways. And one of the things that happened when I was first elected by you folks, and as Congressman Overstar said, you put your trust in us to bring home things that you need from the state capitol and from Washington, D.C., is that this project came before me, and I was immediately familiar with it because as a kid, I can't tell you how many hundreds of times I've ridden snowmobile, not a boat, but snowmobile up here and gone around this bridge and wondered, why in the heck is it that way? Why can't it be different than it really is? And why is this beautiful river have just a few boathouses down here? And how did that all happen? And why is this asset not being capitalized on? And why is it? And then I realized that the vision of the community was in play at that time when I was first elected. And I've been real pleased to be a part of a very small part, Senator Bach and I, in working to get the money, part of the money, to help bring this project forward. And so it's a thrilling time for Tower. It's a good time for us because it helps us. We've felt like we've been a part of it. And it's a new time for people who come up here and learn about what we really have to offer. Because in the future, as Senator Bach said, I've been on the Riverwalk in San Antonio, and I know what that means to them, and I know what the Alamo means to them, and that was a very good example of what this project may mean in the future. Now, as we move forward in the future, there's going to be difficulties and there's going to be struggles as this thing begins to develop. And I just want to tell you that we have a lot of resources in northeastern Minnesota that others don't in other parts of the state. One of them is the Iron Range resources in Eveleth. And you know, the money comes from mining. So let's not be mistaken. Mining began in this part of the country, not in Representative Rukavina's district. I think it's pretty close to here, as a matter of fact. And Senator Dicklich will remind him that I said that. And he has an arena already named after him over in Silver Bay, which is in Senator Bach and my district. So he really doesn't need a marina. But we have to think about how we got the money, at least the state money that is coming into this project. And that is from mining. You know, the production tax that comes from mining is helping to pay for this project, and it's something we don't want to lose sight of. And we need to know that that's a valuable resource, and we're going to be here, and I'm chair of the board of the IRB now. It's something that I'm enjoying doing and looking at how to reframe some of our activities there. And we're going to work hard to continue to help you with these projects, continue to help the city of Tower, Senator Bach, all of us on the Iron Range delegation, and in cooperation with our 2 senators, Klobuchar and Coleman, and certainly Congressman Overstar, who is a never-failing person for northeastern Minnesota. And thank you very much, Congressman. So thank you very much for coming. It's always, Tower's great. Love to come here. Great town. Always stop, get gas down the street. On my way to Ely, another asset, Ely. People don't, I don't think people always take the time to think what an asset Ely is to Tower and what the impact of that traffic has. So thank you very much for coming, and have a good day. Call us anytime. We'll be glad to help you.
Next, I'd like to introduce you to Commissioner Lehman. I first met her, I can't remember how many years ago it was, when the city was down looking for funds for looking for monies to start a, what would you say, the initial, yeah, there you go. Anyway, I remember that they had a poster on the wall there, and I don't remember the exact words, but what I remember of it was to find your niche and use that to improve your communities. And what Tower's niche is Lake Vermilion and tourism, and that's what we're doing here. So thank you, Sandy Lehman, for that. And would you like to say a few words, please?